नमस्कार। जम्मू के लोग जवाब नहीं देते हैं, मैं दोबारा कोशिश करती हूँ। नमस्ते, अस्सलाम वालेकुम एंड हेलो। आपने मुझे यहाँ बुलाकर, यहाँ खड़ा करके इंतहा इज्जत बख्शी है। It's an absolute honor for me to be giving this lecture. My late partner Baljeet Singh Malik and I knew Balraj Puri ji because we worked on similar issues. He from here, Baljeet and I from Rajasthan, and later from Delhi. As you have heard, Balraj ji was a true son and citizen of Jammu and Kashmir, India, and I think of the world. It is absolutely wonderful that this lecture has been instituted to remind us constantly of the values he espoused, he tried to live, and to encourage us, especially the young people, to understand those values and take them forward. Friends, as you have heard, I am not an academic, and I am very happy about it. So I will not be really giving a lecture. I'll be sharing a few things with you about which I feel passionately, and I've been doing consciously since I was 19, since 1970, and unconsciously as a child, I think almost soon after I was 4 or 5. This subject, according to some people, feminism, is about 50% of the world's population. According to me, it's about 100% of the world's population, and I'll try and explain why I think so. I know that feminism is perhaps the most badnaam, misunderstood, purposely misrepresented, and even hated ism. But in spite of that, I stand here to talk about it, and even to call myself a feminist. तो आप मेरी हिम्मत की तो थोड़ी दाद दे दीजिए। तो शुरू करती हूँ, and whatever I will say will be my understanding of feminism. There is no one feminism, friends. Just as there is no one socialism, Marxism, no one understanding of democracy, not even one Hinduism or Islam or Christianity. Similarly, feminism is understood by different people. So I am presenting what I believe in and how I understand, beginning with ABC. So the word feminism comes from the French word femme, means woman. So it is womanism, in Hindi, Nariwad. Feminism was and is a response to patriarchy, Pidarshahi, Pitrasatta. If there was no patriarchy in the world, feminism wouldn't have started. And inshallah, the day patriarchy is dead and gone, we feminists will not be necessary. And I really hope and pray that day comes soon. What is patriarchy for me? Patriarchy is a social system in which men are by definition considered to be superior. कोई scientific explanation नहीं है, कोई कुछ नहीं है, कोई वजह नहीं है, मगर वो superior है. And in that system, men have more control over resources, decision making, and ideology. Patriarchy creates a hierarchy and inequality between humanity. Patriarchy, as I understand it, is the oldest, one of the most violent, unequal social system, and unfortunately it is global. ये सिर्फ साउथ एशिया में नहीं है. ट्रंप साहब को देख के आपको पता लग जाना चाहिए कि अमेरिका में भी है. Our definition of feminist. Who is a feminist? Simple definition है. Anyone who recognizes that women and girls are discriminated against. ठीक है जी? Where? Within the home, at the place of work, and in society in general. And that person takes action against this discrimination. आगे ना बात समझ कि दोबारा बोलो. Anyone who recognizes discrimination against women and girls and who takes action. So if my parents give me equal respect, equal love, equal resources and opportunities, they are both feminists. And feminists are not just women like me, upper class, balkati, the sabzi wali who comes in the morning at 7, ke aloo lo, pyaz lo, tomato lo. I've been talking to her, she's been looking after 4 grandchildren. God, you see her body language. Tall, handsome woman, fighting for her rights, working for her children, not dependent on anyone, doing responsibility and rights. So a sabzi wali can be a feminist, and professors in universities may not be feminists. According to my definition, men can be feminists. And I've been lucky to know many men in my life who are feminists, who are our comrades, who walk with us together. So friends, feminism is against sexism. It is against discrimination. It is against patriarchy. Feminism is not against men. And yes, feminism is against those men and women who support patriarchy. And unfortunately, a lot of women support patriarchy. वो खुद अपने पैरों पे कुल्हाड़ी मारती हैं. And in fact, society has very cleverly given the responsibility of teaching patriarchy to children to women. We prepare the next generation with patriarchal conditioning and norms. Some people have said feminism is looking at the world through women's eyes. Normally the world is looked at, interpreted, defined by men. So feminism is that ideology which looks at the world through women's eyes. Feminism wants equality and only equality. Some people who call us feminazis, and I really pity those souls who can call feminists feminazi. Nazism, Nazi people killed 6 million Jews. I can't remember any killing by feminists. Although we face the worst violence in the world, I don't remember when we have burnt any buses or gone and broken the offices of people, or killed or murdered, and yet we are hated? Because some people assume we don't want patriarchy, so maybe we want matriarchy. Let me make it clear. Patriarchy is an illness. Matriarchy will also be an illness. We cannot replace one illness with another illness. So the only opposite of patriarchy can be equality. Today, we women are unhappy about what world is doing to our daughters. Do you think tomorrow, if our sons were treated like this, we will be happy? No. We produce both from our bodies with our menstrual blood, which some men then declare impure. I wish we knew that these men will say this. We would not have used our menstrual blood to produce them in the first place. ये बाद में पता लगता है कुछ लोगों का ना, बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है. When I say we are for equality and we are for men and women, then some people say, Madam, why do you call it feminism? Achha, what should we call it? Why don't you call it humanism? So I very humbly give them two responses. A, humanism as an ideology already exists and it did not focus on gender equality. Secondly, don't all movements have the name of people who are oppressed and who are doing those movements? Indian freedom movement. We didn't call it human freedom movement. भाई इंडिया को freedom चाहिए थी अंग्रेजों से, तो Indian freedom movement था. Dalits need freedom from casteism, so it is the Dalit movement. Students want rights, so it's called the student movement. And it is women who are oppressed and subordinated and violated. We want equality, so what should we call it? I think we call it the only sensible thing, which is called Narivad or feminism. Then they say, no, madam, if it is called feminism now, then how can we join it, ma'am? This is called feminism. Acha. Then it's very good. This is a very good test for men with those big egos. एक चीज join नहीं कर सकते जिसमें woman पहले आ गया, तो फिर ऐसे मर्दों की इस मूवमेंट को कोई जरूरत नहीं है. आप बाहर ही रहें तो बेहतर है. I am not a Dalit. I support the Dalit movement. I am not a working class person. I support the working class people's movement. So what's the problem? But they do have problem. वो ego patriarchy ने इतनी बड़ी करके रख दी कि उनका कोई इलाज नहीं है. Feminism, like all isms or like all social movements, has an ideology and it has an action program. So women's studies departments, sociology people studying feminist issues, gender issues, this is the theory part of it. This is the ideology part of it. Our little books, our songs, our posters, our banners is ideology. Because पहले इंसानों का ज़हन बदलना लाज़मी होता है, उसके बाद इंसान बदलते हैं. तो हमें आइडियोलॉजी भी चाहिए और एक्शन भी चाहिए. And in action, it can be projects in villages for women's empowerment, self-help groups, action against violence against women, women's universities in the world, women's schools and colleges. That is the action part of it. So feminism is both. Friends, because patriarchy is global, feminism is global. There are some common issues all over the world violence against women, discrimination against women, differential in the wages of men and women, glass ceilings for women. So, feminism is global. But some patriarchal practices are local, like sati, like dowry, like special treatment of widows in this country. So those are local feminist issues. So feminism is global and feminism is local. It's both. For some feminists, gender equality is the only issue. But then for other feminists like me, we recognize that gender is not the only unequal system. There are other social systems, caste, class, race, majority, minority, and all these other social systems are related to gender. So, a Dalit woman is more likely to be raped than a Kamla Bhasin because she's a woman and a Dalit. A poor woman working in somebody's home is more likely to be raped, misused, exploited than me because of her class and her gender. So for us, feminism is, and I'm using a big word which has suddenly become popular, feminism is intersectional. Intersectional, ये चौराहा है, 6 राह है, 8 राह है, जहाँ पर ये सारी सड़कें मिलती हैं, caste, class, race, etc., etc. So we believe that we need to work against all these unjust, unfair systems, and only then can we establish equality. In the last 15-20 years, in the era of neoliberal globalization, I've been saying that today the biggest attack on women and men, I think, I'd like you to think about it, is by what I call capitalist patriarchy. Earlier it was religious patriarchy, cultural patriarchy. Today it is capitalist patriarchy. Let me explain very briefly. क्या है? In capitalist patriarchy, the god is profit, which I call greed, क्योंकि वो खत्म ही नहीं होता. Greed. Pornography is a $1 billion industry. Child pornography is a $1 billion industry. Cosmetics, which turns us women into bodies, fair and lovely. In South Asia, fair and lovely. Our color is brown, and we are proud of it. The British and the others can keep their fairness, but I see that my society is one of the most racist. Our daughters can't get married if they are not fair. और माँ बाप तुसी कर ले हो यार ते असी कित्थों गोरे पैदा हो जाइए और दसो सही आप कर ले असी गोरे हो जाइए फिर क्रीमा लगा लगा के सारी मज्जां नूं तुसी गावां बना रहे हो क्रीम लगा के I mean such stupidities. So this cosmetic industry, which is the most vicious, and I've read statistics that cosmetic industry and their advertisements make 85% women unhappy because they cannot fit into those models. अब मैं जितना मर्जी वो वाला साबुन लगा लूं जो ऐश्वर्या राय लगाती है, 6 साल लगाने के बाद भी शीशे में तो कमला भसीन नहीं दिखती है. क्या करें? Third, the toy industry. Guns for boys, Barbie dolls for us. Guns for boys. Look at America. Yesterday I was reading that 30,000 people are killed in America because of their guns. 30,000, I calculated, comes to 15 minutes a murder. All the killers, at least 99% are men. 3 साल के बच्चे को बंदूक पकड़ा दीजिए और फिर 16 साल का वो हो जाएगा, आपको बड़ी हैरानी होगी, वो यार टेररिस्ट कैसे बन गया? अरे इसके माँ बाप ने बनाया, खुद ने 3 साल की उम्र से बंदूक पकड़ा दी और डर 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 करता फिर रहा है. The biggest contribution of our men to India and South Asia is they have turned the whole of South Asia into a urinal. कहीं भी खड़ा करा लो इनको, कहीं भी. हम तो नाके पकड़ पकड़ के हर जगह जाना पड़ता है. None of these men are born like this. They are trained by their mothers. कि यहाँ खड़ा हो जाओ. और हम 8-8 घंटे तक बस में जा रहे हैं पकड़ के अपने ब्लैडर को कि यार कहीं साफ सुथरा सुलभ आए तो हम सुधरे. So this is what society is doing to us through this toy industry. Next is Hollywood and Bollywood. 99% of the films are patriarchal, anti-women. Media, sports, IPL. Look at the names of IPL teams. I mean, मर्दों को खुद को टस्कर कहने में मजा आता है. कोची की टीम का नाम था कोची टस्कर्स, सींगों वाले. खेल तो मरद रहे हैं, सींग अभी निकले नहीं है. दिल्ली डेयर डेविल्स, वो यार कोई शरीफ नाम रखो. Calcutta Knight Riders. And then IPL brings those half-clad women jumping up and down at every chokka, chakka and out. Why can't men watch even cricket without this sexual uttejana? I feel it is so insulting for men to be treated like that. But I don't think they've even recognized how they are being dehumanized. So friends, this kind of economic paradigm, unless we fight this paradigm, there's no possibility of equality between your daughter and your son. If a film has a song so horrible like this and makes 100 crore, कि मैं, and I'm already warning you, please don't laugh at this, मुझे इस पे बहुत गुस्सा आता है, तो आप अगर हंसेंगे ना तो मुझे बहुत बुरा लगेगा. बेहूदगी पर हंसना छोड़िए. गाना है कि मैं तंदूरी मुर्गी हूं, मुझे विस्की से गटका ले. लौंडिया पटाएंगे मिस्ड कॉल से. ये गाना पंजाबी शादियों में दिन रात बजता है. गाना कहता है लौंडिया पटाएंगे मिस्ड कॉल से. ये सारी मेरी बच्चियां और दोस्त और बहनें लौंडिया हो गई. लौंडिया का मतलब है सेक्स वर्कर. और लड़का कह रहा है कि पटाऊंगा तुझे. पटाने का मतलब है तुझे उल्लू बनाऊंगा, दोस्ती नहीं करूंगा. और ये जो लड़का कह रहा है ये मेरा बेटा हो सकता है. Is that the kind of relationship men want with women? Is this the kind of relationship women want with men? Whom should I blame? The producer of that film? The actor of that film? Or Indian society which gave it 100 crore business? I think feminism demands that we think which joke we laugh at, which film we go to, which song we play, and which toys which we give to our children. That's where we need to begin. So our fight has to be intersectional. People ask me, यार कमला ये बताओ कि ये फेमिनिज्म बीमारी ये शुरू कब हुई थी? Now according to some of us, feminism must have started the day patriarchy started. वो thesis and antithesis वाली बात है. कोई औरतों ने पेट्रियार्की को आसानी से कबूल नहीं किया होगा. आजाद औरत को बंद कर दिया जाए, डोमेस्टिकेट कर दिया जाए तो तड़पी होगी. And then historically we have stories from Buddha's time when women heard that the Buddha had said he doesn't believe in caste, that Dalits could come and join the Sangha, women, some of them from his own family, his Masi, Gautami, who brought him up because Buddha's mother had died. She said, "Yaar, ye to very good hai Mamla. If he doesn't believe in caste and he's allowing Dalits to come, then surely he would allow women to join the Sangha." So history tells us that about 500 women got together and walked God knows how many kilometers and went to the Buddha and said, "Sir, हमको भी admission दे दो in your Sangha." Buddha was an intelligent man, he knew society. 500 औरतें upper class घरों की आश्रम में आ गई मेरे में, तो मेरा बुद्धिज्म को तो ये पत्थर मार मार के कैपिटल ये अमीर लोग अपर कास्ट लोग खत्म कर देंगे. He said no, कि sorry ladies, not possible for me to give you entry. अब उनके लिए सारे इंतजाम करो, उनके menstruation का भी करो, तो अलग टॉयलेट भी बनाओ, and the monks would start jumping up and down like monkeys. He must have thought about all that. He said no. 2,500 years ago, these women did not go back. They went to Ananda, the first disciple of the Buddha, and said, "यार तुम्हारा director क्या कह रहा है? हमें admission नहीं दे रहा है. We brought him up. What is wrong with us that we cannot achieve nirvana?" Like men, Ananda understood, went back to the Buddha and said, "अरे वो वापस नहीं जा रही 500, वो तो धरना दे रही है, स्ट्राइक कर रही है. We need to rethink, sir." The Buddha said, "Fine, then call all the senior monks. We shall have a meeting." A meeting was held, and friends, it was decided that the women will be given entry to the Sangha. Now tell me, is this debate between those women and the Buddha and Ananda, is this not a feminist debate? Is this not a gender debate? What are the women asking for? For their rights. And discussing. I can give another example from 1500 years ago where the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in a region where patriarchy was vicious, where girls were buried alive, where women had no rights, the Prophet spoke from and said property right, right in marriage, right to divorce, right to education. The Prophet said women should be allowed to go to China for education. China, Middle East से Emirates की flight कब नहीं चलती थी? Can you imagine? And then look at Guru Nanak there. The kind of gender discourse he brought into Sikhism. So there have been these debates. Then you can ask, and people ask me, but they didn't give complete equality. My answer to them is, can I compare the debate 2,500 years ago with today's debates? I don't think so. What they did 2,500 years ago or 1,500 years ago or 600 years ago in Sikhism was according to the conditions there. So for me, those were feminist discourses. So I dismiss this myth that feminism is Western. Where was the West 2,500 years ago? People who call feminism Western, gender debate Western, are people either suffering from a deep sense of inferiority or ignorant of their own history. And friends, even if feminism was Western, but if I liked it, I would accept it. Because for me, Ideas don't have nationalities or religions. If an idea is good, I accept it. Caste is an idea born in my country and I reject it. Sati is an idea born in my country and I reject it. Like Rabindranath Tagore, who said, every beautiful poem in the world belongs to me. I say, every good idea is mine. But the sad part is the people who say कि ये western है, वो पतलून पहने हुए, टाई लगाए हुए बंदे होते हैं, जो ऊपर से नीचे तक खुद तो western है और अंग्रेजी बोल रहे होते हैं और हमें कहते हैं कि फेमिनिज्म वेस्टर्न है। सर अपना हुलिया तो देखो ना जरा पहले, फिर बात करते हैं। ओके फ्रेंड्स, so this brings me to the next point, that feminism is actually just a journey. I don't know any perfect feminist. After decades of feminism being practiced by me, I still find myself saying things and doing things which are patriarchal. क्योंकि पेट्रियार्की हमारे अंदर तक घुसी हुई है, हम सब में. So it's a journey, and it's good enough if we say, yes, I am now starting on this journey, and if my friends keep correcting me, if my family keeps correcting me, one day I'll reach there. तो मैं तो ये कहती हूँ कि मंजिल मुझे मिले ना मिले इसका गम नहीं, मंजिल की जुस्तजू में मेरा कारवां तो है, कम से कम चल तो रही हूँ ना, ख्वाहिश तो है बराबरी की, तो पहुंच जाऊंगी. So friends, so I believe as a feminist practicing feminism, I am protecting the Constitution of India. So this lecture is in defense of the Indian Constitution, because the Indian Constitution says men and women are equal, and I believe anyone who respects the Indian Constitution by definition has to be a feminist, has to oppose patriarchy, has to oppose caste system, has to oppose poverty. So मैं यहाँ अपने कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन की हिफाजत के लिए बड़े फख्र के साथ खड़ी हूँ. My feminism is actually pro-men. Two reasons. I believe patriarchy is dehumanizing men. I believe if I speak spiritually, which I do, patriarchy hurts men much more than it hurts women spiritually. If I'm raped, not my fault, somebody comes and rapes me. But the person who rapes me, he is खत्म, वो तो खत्म हो गया, इंसान नहीं है वो. एक मर्द जो 3 साल की बच्ची का बलात्कार कर सकता है, 10 मर्द जो मिलकर एक बच्ची का बलात्कार कर सकते हैं, फिर उसका मर्डर कर सकते हैं, वो तो मर चुके हैं अंदर से, खत्म हो चुके हैं. So, and I believe no man is biologically violent. If men were biologically violent, where would the Buddha come from, the Nanak come from, the Prophet come from? And where would those men come, 50%, who don't do violence, who don't tease girls on the buses and metros and trains? So, violence is not biological in men, but patriarchy creates it. The government of India says 40% Pati Parmeshwars violate their Dharam Patnis. 40%. I believe they are unwell, they are sick, they need to see a psychiatrist. Men who tease women, touch them, hold them, go for their breasts or their bottoms in the buses and metros. They really need to go and see a doctor. They are not well. उनको सेक्सुअल ऑब्सेशन है, उनके माँ बाप को उनको अस्पतालों में ले जाना चाहिए. So patriarchy is hurting men, and men should really get up, join the feminist movement against patriarchy, and you will see how fast it will disappear. Secondly, friends, I feel unless women are free, men cannot be free. Men have to protect all the women in their lives. 6 साल के बच्चे को कहते हैं जा तेरी दीदी को ना एक किताब चाहिए, दीदी के साथ चला जा. दीदी कितनी बड़ी है? 22 साल की है, वो 6 साल का है. जांघिया नीचे गिर रहा है, नाक में से नाक निकल रही है कि तू जा दीदी को ले जा. दीदी अगर अपने पैरों पर खड़े होने लायक हो जाए, किसी लड़के को किसी भी उम्र में दीदी को प्रोटेक्ट नहीं करना पड़ेगा. दीदी अपने पिताजी का बिजनेस करने को तैयार हो जाए तो हर बेटे को बिजनेस नहीं करना पड़ेगा. If he wants to be a musician, he can become a musician. If he wants to be a poet, he can be a poet. If he wants to be a social worker, he can be a social worker. Men have no choices because their sisters don't have choices. Brothers and fathers have to look for husbands for us, collect dowry for us, and then they treat us badly for dowry, keep providing. So friends, patriarchy is messing up with men and it is messing up with women. So men need to understand that feminism will be brilliant for them and they need to support it. Feminism, is it relevant in South Asia? Not just relevant, absolutely essential in South Asia. Because South Asia is that region, according to all statistics, which is the most patriarchal region in the world. And maybe it is because of caste which makes it worse. Caste purity की वजह से औरत को और दबाना पड़ता है. So, it's very, very relevant in South Asia. I mean, look at our statistics. Let me talk about India. You know, we have killed 37 million girls and women because of son preference. 37 million. Hitler killed 6 million Jews. 37 million. हिटलर ने जू मारे थे, वो फर्क थे, वो फर्क था. हम अपनी बेटियां मारते हैं. माँ बाप, दादा दादी, नाना नानी, डॉक्टर, वो टेस्ट करने वाले, हर बच्ची के मर्डर के पीछे कम से कम 50 लोग होते हैं, तब वो एक बच्ची को मारा जाता है. 37 मिलियन बच्चियों को अगर मारा गया इंटू 50, 1.5 बिलियन लोगों के हाथ खून में रंगे हैं. उसके बाद फिर वो दिवाली भी मना लेते हैं, बहू भी ले आते हैं अपने बेटों के लिए. 37 million. No other country in the world kills their daughters like we do, and then we say non-violent country, Hindu country, biggest democracy. घर की डेमोक्रेसी तो देखो हो क्या रहा है. 40 to 50% girls are married off before they are 18. Widows, go and have a look in Vrindavan, how we treat women because their husband died. It's her fault that her husband died. अगर वो सती सावित्री होती तो वो यम से उसको वापस ले आती. और खोता शराब इतनी पीता है, मैं यम से वापस कैसे लाऊं? वो शराब पी पी के मर गया, विडो मैं बन गई और मुझे भर्ती कर दिया वहां वृंदावन में. Look at your society, friends. Look at your families. And then you talk to me and you tell me Indian values. एशियन वैल्यूज। बात करो आके, देखो जो हकीकत है। सिर्फ भाषण, हमारे यहाँ देवियों को पूजा जाता है, इसीलिए बेटियां मारते हो 37 मिलियन। वहां जाके देवी पूज लेते हो या घर में आके बेटी को खत्म कर देते हो। I mean such hypocrisy. So friends, मैं एक बात और, 2-3 बातें मुझे और करनी है। मैं बोल दूँ कि मैं बंद करूँ? सर साहब बोल दूँ सर? भाई वाइस चांसलर है, पूछना तो पड़ता है ना। अब मैं सच्ची सच्ची ये जो जवान लोग आए हैं उनको कहना चाहती हूँ कि मेरे पैशनेट भाषण के बाद ये ना कहना कि हम भी फेमिनिस्ट हो जाएं। फेमिनिज्म इज द मोस्ट डेंजरस इज्म। आपको जीने लायक नहीं छोड़ता फेमिनिज्म। मेरी हालत देखो, ये सफेद बाल, ये सब इसी वजह से है। सच्ची बात है। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, द फर्स्ट पर्सन फेमिनिज्म क्वेश्चंस इज यू, कि कमला तूने कपड़े ठीक पहने हैं? कमला तू किसी मर्द का गलत इस्तेमाल तो नहीं कर रही? एक बड़ा सूटकेस लेके जा रही है तो उसको कहेगी उठा ले, उसको कहेगी दरवाजा खोल दे, वैसे बड़ी फेमिनिस्ट बनती है। एमए तूने कर लिया, इंतजार कर रही है, बाप डाउरी देगा तेरे को। सो द फर्स्ट पर्सन फेमिनिज्म क्वेश्चंस इज you yourself, and which one of us likes to be questioned? Feminism is the only ideology which enters our homes. Marxism doesn't, socialism doesn't। ये वाली आइडियोलॉजी होम में नहीं, बेडरूम में भी घुसती है। What kind of sex does my husband have with me? Do I ever feel satisfied with it? Does he even ask me? Feminism makes you question your brother who takes away the entire property of my father and disappears. So feminism questions our most intimate relationships, and tell me who wants to question them. Third, feminism questions my religion, because my religion does not treat me equally. My religion creates things like Kanya Dan. My constitution says men and women are equal. मेरा कन्या दान, शर्म नहीं आती? मैं कोई चीज हूँ। एक मालिक मुझे उठा के दूसरे मालिक को दे देता है। आज मेरा नाम भसीन है, कल नया मालिक का नाम मलिक है, तो मैं कल कमला मलिक होकर घूमती रहूं। फिर हर साल मेरे को कहता है करवा चौथ कर। वो अपना 5 बजे बियर का गिलास लेके बैठ जाता है, डार्लिंग चांद कब निकलेगा? रक्षाबंधन पर मैं अपने छोटे भाई को पढ़ाती थी, उसकी फीस भरती थी, यूएन में नौकरी के बाद उसको स्कूटर लेके खरीद के देती थी। राखी के दिन वो खड़ा हो जाता था, मैं दुपट्टे से सिर ढकती थी औरत बनने के लिए। वो राखी के बांधने के पहले मेरे से 100 रुपया ले लेता था, उसके पास होता नहीं था। मेरे से राखी बंधवा के वो कहता था कि ले 100 रुपया एज अ सिंबल दैट आई विल प्रोटेक्ट यू। बट ब्रदर, द फैक्ट इज दैट आई हैव बीन प्रोटेक्टिंग यू फॉर सो मेनी इयर्स। हाउ मेनी ऑफ अस सिस्टर्स प्रोटेक्ट आवर ब्रदर्स? क्या किसी भाई को खाना खिलाना प्रोटेक्शन नहीं है? क्या उसके कपड़े धोना प्रोटेक्शन नहीं है? क्या उसको पिताजी की मार से बचाना प्रोटेक्शन नहीं है? हर महीने कोई ना कोई त्योहार आता है जो मुझे नीचा दिखाकर और मेरे भाई और पति को ऊंचा दिखाकर चला जाता है, कि कहीं मैं ये ना समझ लूं कि मैं बराबर हूं, कि मैं जम्मू यूनिवर्सिटी में पढ़ाती हूं, मैं बराबर हो गई, मैं सीआरपीएफ में काम करती हूं, मैं बराबर हो गई। ये ना समझ ले हर महीने त्योहार आएगा। भैया दूज, भैया दूज का नाम भैया दूज कैसे हो सकता है? बहन के बिना ये होता नहीं है, उसको बहन भाई दूज क्यों नहीं कह सकते हो? तो क्या किया मैंने एज ए फेमिनिस्ट? मैंने ना रक्षाबंधन को नकारा, ना मैंने भैया दूज को नकारा, मैंने उनको बदल दिया। मैंने कहा ब्रदर तू मेरे को राखी बांधेगा, मैं तुझे राखी बांधूंगी, और मैं कसम खा के कहती हूँ कि तेरी आखिरी दिन तक मैं रक्षा करूंगी और तू भी मेरे को गले लगा के कह कि तू भी मेरा साथ देगा। ये है मेरा फेमिनिज्म दोस्तों। I as a feminist did not take one paisa dowry. I as a feminist supported my parents, my brothers. I was not a burden on them because for me, before I asked for my rights, I asked for my responsibilities, for my duties. That is feminism. मैंने कहा ब्रदर तू मेरे को राखी बांधेगा, मैं तुझे राखी बांधूंगी, और मैं कसम खा के कहती हूँ कि तेरी आखिरी दिन तक मैं रक्षा करूंगी और तू भी मेरे को गले लगा के कह कि तू भी मेरा साथ देगा। ये है मेरा फेमिनिज्म दोस्तों। I as a feminist did not take one paisa dowry. I as a feminist supported my parents, my brothers. I was not a burden on them because for me, before I asked for my rights, I asked for my responsibilities, for my duties. That is feminism. वो नाटक वाला फेमिनिज्म नहीं है। मैं फेमिनिज्म डाउरी लेके मैंने शादी कर ली और शादी के दूसरे दिन से मैंने वहां जाकर नाटक शुरू कर दिया, मैं फेमिनिस्ट हूँ। अरे तो डाउरी लेके तू शादी करा के आई है मैडम, फेमिनिस्ट थी तो उस दिन खड़ा होना था ना कि कन्यादान नहीं कराऊंगी। ये दोगला फेमिनिज्म इज नॉट फेमिनिज्म, उसका एक और नाम है और वो है opportunism. My feminism is not opportunism, and I'm telling this especially to all the women sitting in this room. Now, last point. Feminism, last में नहीं है। The biggest slogan of feminism is the personal is the political. इसके बहुत सारे मीनिंग्स हैं, अगले साल फिर बुलाना, फिर समझाऊंगी। मेरे 3 स्लोगन्स हैं जो मैं पिछले 25 साल से कह रही हूँ। One of them is I am not the wall that divides, I am a crack in that wall. मैं सरहद पर बनी दरार नहीं, मैं सरहद पर बनी दीवार नहीं, मैं तो उस दीवार पर पड़ी दरार हूँ। We break all binaries between men and women, between castes, between disciplines. We believe in communication, in talking. My second slogan is men of quality are not afraid of equality. घटिया मर्द इक्वालिटी से डरते हैं। And my third slogan is not love of power, power of love. सत्ता से प्यार नहीं, प्यार की सत्ता। मेरा सारा काम मोहब्बत बेस्ड है। प्यार के बगैर समानता की लड़ाइयाँ नहीं होती, प्यार के बगैर जिंदगी नहीं होती। तो नफरत के खिलाफ है, हर तरह की नफरत के खिलाफ है, और मोहब्बत के लिए है मेरा फेमिनिज्म। मगर वो आर्ची कार्ड देके या एक 10 रुपए का गुलाब देके की जाने वाली मोहब्बत नहीं। Friends, finally I want to say that all research shows that without gender equality, there can be no progress in a country. If 50% population is down and out, that country cannot progress, and you can look at all the countries and their development and you can find that. Secondly, all research shows that gender equality makes families happy, children happier, and men and women happy. Gender equality is not a zero-sum game. Women will benefit and men will lose. No. Gender equality is a win-win game everyone will benefit. So friends, in the end, all I want to say is, feminism is good for all of us. It is relevant and necessary. तो आओ ये नारा लगे, फेमिनिज्म प्यारा लगेगा। अब फेमिनिस्ट हूँ तो बिना नारा लगाए तो बैठने वाली मैं हूँ नहीं। मैं एक आज़ादी का नारा लगाती हूँ नॉर्मली, पर यहाँ पर वो मैं नहीं लगाऊंगी, कहीं आप घबरा जाएं। जम्मू एंड कश्मीर है, गलत इंटरप्रिटेशन करने को सारी दुनिया बैठी है। मैं एक नारा लगाऊंगी जो राजस्थान के आरटीआई मूवमेंट ने शुरू किया है। वो सिर्फ आपने कहना है जीतेंगे, टीचर्स ने भी कहना है, यहाँ थोड़ा नारा लगाना सीखिए वरना इक्वालिटी आने वाली नहीं है। लड़ेंगे, आपने कहते जाना है जीतेंगे, ठीक है? थोड़ा सीधे बैठ जाओ। लड़ेंगे, लड़ेंगे, अन्याय से हम और हिंसा से हम और लड़ेंगे, सत्ता से हम, जातिवाद से हम। अब लफ्जों को ध्यान से सुनिएगा। दो चारों में हम, हजारों में हम, परिवारों में हम, बाजारों में हम, स्कूलों में हम, यूनिवर्सिटी में हम, और दिल्ली में हम, और जम्मू में हम, और